welcome back. This is one of these eclectic TNs. That's all I can think to call them. They're about 4.5 by 8.5, and this is Flora. Very delicate. I haven't added anything to the paper on the front. I just really liked the way it looked. We've got a dangle here in the centre. And this is some very pale sage greens, creamy white, and some faint pink and amber in there. So she's fastened with a pale pink chiffon ribbon. And if we go inside, I just want to check where I am here. There we go. If I take you inside, we can see this is Tyvek. I haven't covered it up. I thought it looked fine, and I've added that just for a bit of extra strength to the spine. So there's a pocket here and a little tiny tag. This paper is single sheet. It's from, I think it's from 49 and Market. So anyway, we've got a tiny pocket, a little bit of a snippet, and a little tiny tag with a flower fairy on there. This is some Tim Holtz tissue. This is some of that chiffon ribbon that I've ruffled down the edge of the page. And in here we've got one of these cigarette album tags in a little slip, I don't know what you call this, a sort of belly band, I suppose. And in the back I've got a botanical tag. There we go, botanical tag, and this is part of a document from 1871. It's to do with the analysis of title of what looks like possibly some farmland, maybe. So this is 1871, which is probably the last, and then it goes back through 1829. So somebody's written various names of people that have probably owned that bit of land. Let's turn it up that way. So that's in there. This is from 1924. The papers, this paper is again from My Porch Prints. This is called Granny's Attic, and there's various papers from that collection. This is from 1903. Just says best regards. Quite an interesting picture on there. This is a journal card from the kit. A bit of vintage lace up there. And this is a little envelope from the kit, and there's a playing card and a glassine bag in there. So those are in that pocket. I've used Edith Holden tabs, stenciling. Again, I've put a page with a sheen in here. Again, I don't do it very often, but I really like this delicate picture in this album. So here we've got a vintage birthday card from Laurie to Gabrielle, and this vintage photograph I've offset on some more of the paper, and there's a little bit of die cutting there. That's what it looks like on the back. I think she looks like a Maud, so you might want to give her another name. She's not a relative. I don't know who she is, but I'm quite glad she's going out into the world. Some random pages. This is from 1982. Little cutout from the Flower Fairy book. This is a vintage receipt, unused, and we've got a card in there. An envelope, some of the paper from Granny's Attic I've decorated. This is some vintage lace, And there's nothing in this envelope, but I've lined it with some vintage glassine. Let's go this way. Got a map and a lace belly band. I put a stopper at the bottom just to help with things not falling through. This is from the Good Housekeeping magazine, 1920s, I believe. And this is a library card, vintage library card. And there's a snippet on there. A bit of fussy cutting. Got a tall, slim tag in this pocket. I quite like the way the colours all go together. And in here I've popped my great-grandfather. This is Walter, John Walter Yardley. He had a bit of a sad life. This is my centre with these dangles which can go top or bottom. This is a page from a vintage children's book. And I didn't really want to cover this up. I've made this into another tuck, but I've just popped that in the top there just so that you can see the colours here that match with this fussy cut. This is the other side of the belly band. So we've got a page from a vintage book. Things our great grandmothers ate. Might be interesting, considering the book itself is quite old. So there's another of those library cards and another of these offset journal cards. And this is my other great-grandfather. This is Barnabas Russell. Got a very slim pocket here with a very slim tag in it. And then on this side, we've got a vintage envelope. It is a Christmas stamp on it, but again, I thought the colours all went very prettily. And this time I've done a tag and offset the vintage. This is a copy. These are all copies, these photographs, apart from Maud at the beginning. She was original. These are copies, and this is Barnabas's youngest son, my grandfather, Eli, and Margaret, my grandmother. So they're sitting in there. This is some of that vintage placemat. I think that might be upside down, but I don't know. I like the way it looked that way, so that's the way it's staying. Another little pocket and the inside of that vintage envelope. In here we've got another tag. This is an old ledger, but it wasn't particularly interesting, so I popped a blank computer card in there from the 70s. This is a vintage photograph, original. Maybe that's Maud's son. And another of those little envelopes from the kit, and again there's a couple of little bits in there. The other side. So we've got some fussy cutting and a little tuck spot at the bottom. And in the back I've got another tag and another meal plan from the Good Housekeeping Guide. I really liked this as well. To be honest, if you ate all of this in a day, I'd have thought you'd be like the side of a house, but people weren't, so I don't know. There's an extra postcard in the back and a little embroidery. So that's Flora. She'll be going into the Etsy shop with the others, and thank you all for watching.